taking the sirolimus and the facial manifestations.
Yes. And I mean, that's not even a big deal to me, like I, have the sirolimus cream, but I don't even have to use it that often. Like it's very strong and it does its job. So I take it like, once or twice a week or like as needed. So
Good. So tell me a little bit about, some of the projects that you've done with, TS.
So I did a senior capstone project, in high school with Dr. DeMario.
Okay.
And there was another, doctor from Harvard, actually. I wish I could pull up his name right now. I don't know it off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. I just wanted to hear you talk about the project and a little bit.
So basically, the way this was called a symposium, and it happened at the Connecticut Children's Medical Center, and we had a nice, like 7,500 person auditorium, and it wasn't packed by all means. There were probably like 40 people there who had wanted to, find out more about it and whatnot. So basically the way it went was Dr. DeMario he had his slideshow and talked about all the science within the disease. And just because obviously I was still high school at the time, I knew some of the ins and outs, but it was good to learn more about. And then, the other doctor did the same thing. They both, covered bits and pieces. The other, doctor actually talked about, mainly epilepsy and with that. And I mean, I've never had a seizure in my life from what I know. I haven't had that, so I can't even, go into that and say I've experienced it like other people have.
Right.
But
well, everybody has their own, and just that you know more about it than, the average person is good.
And I mean, I know it's possible, I know it's there.
That's gotta be a little scary.
Have one. I mean, I'm not very scared just because, Dr. D, we made an agreement, to get MRIs every year. But now that I'm 20 and now that nothing, I have a tiny brain tumor, this, probably half the size of a pea, in the middle of my brain. And, that's all we have seen, and that has been monitored. I've had my kidneys looked at,
Yep. So you're on the radar and you're doing the things that you need to do for your,
so just
health.
They want to make sure, I'm safe, I'm okay. Yep. But once you reach this age that I'm around,
yes,
it's not dormant, but the effects have already been kind of set. They know
what you got is what you got.
So now I'm gonna do an MRI every 2 years.
2 years.
So
excellent.
So just I don't know how much money we're actually saving, but it's just.
It's as one that's taken kids for to go to every other year. I can't wait for that because nobody's there yet. So I think they will be psyched too. One thing I was thinking was okay, so say for a parent out there that's struggling with a new diagnosis, and for someone around your age that are kind of around gets your type of a diagnosis where it's mild or whatever. And, what's your advice what would you say to the person that's just newly diagnosed, that's, mildly affected, as far as,
to the person who's mildly affected, I would say find something inside you to let that it's gonna be okay in the end. I mean, I live my life to the fullest, and I know that I'm happy. So, and I've just accepted it. Hey, I have this. Acceptance is very key, and you know, life moves on with or without you. Like I was, you know, I don't know if I said this. I was suicidal. Like I wasn't happy.
Yeah, you did mention that to me when we talked before, but yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. It takes some courage.
It was like a one time type of thing, like where I was just really like, do I even like want to live anymore? And I mean, it's scary to think about, but like that did happen. But I mean, I'd never been to a therapist or anything, but like I dealt with that on my own. And like I literally mentioned it at the symposium. Hey,
you got to that point.
Was suicidal. I didn't know like why I wasn't happy, and I blamed the disease when it's really more to it than that. You know, like it's just. I would say acceptance, you know.
Yeah, like, yeah, that's so really
anyone
great.
Who has a mild version, like you're lucky. I don't even want to say lucky, but
grateful.
You should be grateful that you're not like you don't need help every day. Just like I go to school, I go to college, and I just really try and enjoy life because I know that it could have been me who was one of those who are, you know, dangerously affected. And I just, and I don't want to say I feel bad, but I do. Like, it's kind of like
that's another thing, right? Because you see people that are,
That's what drives me to be the best I can, you know?
That's really beautiful. And
to someone who is diagnosed, if a parent finds out their kid has this, they can still function. They can still, I mean, they have, you know, plenty of opportunities. The world is growing and the technology is growing. Like, can we find a cure for this? I think so.
I do too.
It's just, I mean, I hope we do. It's just so hard, you know?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of progress, you know, over the course of, my involvement with, you know, tuberous sclerosis. Treatments are better. You know, the way that, you know, a child comes and if they're young, you know, they get them in for EEGs right away. Yeah. So you're absolutely right. And being the best that you can be.
And like, I believe that, you know, if someone's diagnosed, like the worst they can, or if they're like barely even on the spectrum, we're all family. We're all in it together, you know, like we all gotta spread awareness about it because it really is, it's debilitating and it's just sad sometimes when like I mean, no one knows about it really. I mean, I tell people all the time, they're like, oh, tuberculosis.
Like, I know.
Tuberous sclerosis complex, TSC for short. Thank you.
Yeah, just like a little pronunciation blurb. Yeah. Oh, one more thing. You know, I know you're a busy college student, so I don't want to keep you too long. Just as far as like, I know you spoke a little bit about who's been your like rock and, you know, who are the people that have helped you along the way.
Well, I would say Jennifer Waldron. She's one of my best friends. Like whenever I see her at the walks or whatever, I, you know, give her a big hug, always helping her out. Like,
we'll get her on the podcast.
Oh, definitely. She is the candidate for it. But, Keith Hall as well, who isn't with us today, which breaks my heart, but, his family's still there. They still go to the walks. They're still a part of everything. And Keith was my mentor as well. Like, I mean, I call Jen and Keith both my mentors, but Keith was always the one like reaching out to me at the end of every semester or, you know, like finding out, hey, you're going to URI, like you're doing this pharmacy major stuff. That's awesome. Like, or just asking me how football was in high school, you know, like just he was an adult who was mildly affected as well. And he and his wife decided just to adopt because they didn't want to have the risk of spreading it to the kids, you know, and having a worse version than himself because there's a 50% chance. And once you get like, it's like the flip of a coin and you're taking a risk that they're, you know, they're autistic and have a chance of epilepsy like you, or, you know, they're going to have kidney failure or whatnot. So
it's a wise move.
Keith was my quote unquote rock, if you would ask me. And I would say that, I mean, it breaks my heart that I didn't get to say goodbye to him because I didn't go to that walk that year. And then he passed away a couple months later.
I'm sure he knows wherever he is.
I know he's watching down on me, and I know that, you know, I think about him all the time. Like, I just, you know, I want to do well for him, you know.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's really, really great.
And I mean, obviously do well for myself too, but you know, there's a reason behind everything.
There really is. And, I didn't mention, what about like your family? How was the reaction as far as, you know, that whole dealing with that? Cause I think that's something that the community might want to hear about.
If you're a family member of someone with TSC, you don't know everything. Mm-hmm. And like the ins and outs, like, my brother never went to Connecticut Children's Medical Center to see me get an MRI, because like, what's the point of that? He doesn't have to come see that. My mom was always taking me to doctor's appointments. She was always doing this and that.
Yeah.
And my dad as well, but my brother and my sister, they're just very supportive of me and what my work is and why I am who I am today with being a bachelor of pharmacy major. They know that I do work my butt off, even though I'm no genius.
You work hard.
I believe in working hard, you know, and I mean, I do have fun as well, but I work my tail end off, because in the end, it's for
I'm so impressed.
them and for, you know, I believe in just working my butt off. I don't know what else to say.
That's good. You're good.
It's for me, but it's for a great cause, you know. And like, eventually I hope to, you know, work for, I mean, I haven't even really figured out yet, but maybe work for a big company and do research and development, or will be able to, you know, contact the site that you really like. So we have a kidney failure. I know Rapamune uses that for you know, rejecting kidneys and whatnot, so that they don't have to reject them.
Right.
But like, I mean, I'm still learning about all this, and like, I'm in the process of learning about all these drugs and whatnot, so I don't want to like say something that I don't know. But
yeah,
it's a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication, and I have, you know, a good group of people up here as well that I have a bunch of friends in my major, and we all study together and, you know, work for each other, you know.
Like, yeah. So what do you do for fun?
I mean, I just, you know, go out on the weekend, play video games sometimes, like, you know, hang out with my friends, like, and
you're a golfer?
I'm actually a terrible golfer, but I do caddy at Point Judith Country Club and, Silver Spring Country Club.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was also a pharmacy technician as well. And believe it or not, you're going to be shocked. Colleen, she's 40, 50 years old, pharmacy technician, very nice lady, already in Walgreens. And one day brought it up. Hey, I have this neurological disorder. I don't know how it happened, but she's like, oh, which one? Like, tuberous sclerosis complex. She's like, oh my gosh, my ex-husband had it. Like, and
no way.
He got diagnosed after birth because I believe one of her kids got it.
Yep.
So, like, that's how they
common.
found out. It is very common. I see that on the Facebook group all the time. Hey, I found out that I have this. Like, can you guys, you know, give me an outlet to go to? And I like, people need information, and it's all on us to help each other learn about it.
Right. And that's kind of my thought behind having a podcast, is it's just another way to get the word out and let other people hear stories and hear the process that people go through to come to terms
exactly.
And what's going on.
Everyone's is different, but everyone's is similar in its own right, you know?
There's like there's some common part. It seems like if